Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update on a few things around my place. First off, thanks for the suggestions that some of you gave me about checking out Monoprice. I ended up picking up this router, dual band, 600 megabits per second. Fired up down there, been running it 3 or 4 weeks now with zero problems. I've got my Macs, laptop and iMac running on the 5 gig band, and my Dell and smartphones and other stuff running on 2.4. And as I said, it's performed flawlessly. I also picked up a DisplayPort to DVI cable, so I don't have that big adapter hanging out the back that was kind of wedged in there, so it's all nice and secure and working just fine. I also picked up one of these camera tripods that has 3 legs that are flexible. Figured that'll come in handy for recording some of my videos. Now, bigger changes in the workshop. So I wanted to rearrange my test equipment. Take out some of the stuff I didn't use that often and move some of my newer equipment onto a shelf like this 3336 I picked up a while ago, and then this puppy I'll be talking more about in a separate video. Now, these are both really deep, and I just had 12-inch shelves, and there's no way that these would fit on them, so I went out and got myself some 19-inch brackets, and ended up using 2 boards to get the depth. And I raised up my lower shelf and put a 12-inch board down here, and the top I got to go out and get a 12-inch board for that. Right now I just got just a couple scraps of poplar wood I had handy, and I still haven't quite worked out what I'm going to put up there. I'm getting a little leery of the weight. Some of these items, like this guy, really heavy, and like the PR57, so I don't want to put a whole lot more weight up there. I think I'll just put tubes or something. Alright, so the other thing I did is, now with this shelf hanging over the bench, it was really casting a shadow for my overhead light, which was never that great to begin with. So I went out and checked out undercam lighting and went with these little puck lights. You can chain them together. I think, put up to 6 or 8 of these or something on one cable. Now, I wanted to get the LEDs, but pretty darn expensive, like $50 or something. They were not that bright. So I went with Xenon. I think they were $12, $10, something like that. So it was the cheapest option, but also the best light output. The only downside is they get a little toasty. I mean, not only do the light fixtures themselves get hot, but just kind of working under it, you can kind of feel the heat coming off of them. But very bright. So just those three lights there, there's plenty of illumination. I can see what I'm doing really, really well now. So what else? So I got the PR57 off. It used to be sitting down here. Much more convenient to have it up on a shelf. Got my Master Voltomist. That's going to be my primary VTVM from now on. First good old scope. DC power supply. Kind of heavy, not crazy about having it up here, but I'm going to be needing this more than I used to. I'll show you why in a moment. Wavetex, just for the time being, I plopped them here. I'm not sure where they're going to end up. And yoke flyback tester. And that is through in CR70 and Hickok testers. And then here is the fun stuff. So, I did a video on this. This is an digital RF generator. Only goes up to 21 megahertz though, but it can sweep. So it's great for aligning AM and FM radio IFs. On top of that, I got a Leader LCG 400 test pattern generator. A really nice piece of equipment. Not crazy about the RF output though. It's weak and it's on channels 5 and 6. 6 does me no good because we've got a local channel on transmitting on 6 and that interferes with it. 5 is okay, but it's also weak. So I really like that one on channels 3 and 4 because that's what I really focus on aligning my sets to, because I figure that's what most people are going to hook them up to, like to an RF modulator. So I could probably modify it if I knew what I was doing. I do have the service info on it. So maybe give that a try. Otherwise, I think I'll just take the composite output and feed it into my own RF generator, like maybe one of these guys, and just have it permanently set up that way. Alright, now here is my latest piece of equipment. I had my eye on an 8656. I had a search set up on eBay for the last couple of years. Always way too expensive, or they didn't work. Well, I finally broke down and got not a 56 but the 57, and I'm glad I did. Not that I need to go up to a gigahertz, but this was guaranteed to work, and it was local. So although it was shipped, I probably could have driven to the guy's place and picked it up. It's like a 50-mile drive, but shipping was quite inexpensive. Anyway, it was, I wouldn't say I got a great deal, but I got a good deal. It was certainly a fair price, and it's fully functional. But so what this is a really fancy RF generator. But it doesn't sweep. So it'd be nice if I could get one modern device that could replace this, and this. But I don't know if such a beast exists. So for now, low frequency, or it's like 21 megahertz and below, fixed RF or sweeping, this guy. Fixed RF up to 1 gigahertz, this guy. So like for markers, to use with a sweep generator, or to do aligning an IF stage. You know, it'll go all the way down to 0.1 megahertz. So you can definitely do 455 kilohertz, 10.7 megahertz, and then went up to TVs, which go up to, well, if you go into the UHF range, you go up to 800 something megahertz, I believe. This will do AM and FM modulation, built-in modulator, and you can do a lot of nifty stuff. Like I said, I'll do a separate video. You can actually do both AM and FM at the same time, even, so nifty to have. But like I said, it does not sweep, so I still need this. So this is to sweep higher frequencies. This one will go up to 500 megahertz. I've also got one that can go up to 1 gigahertz if I need to. And then just got some random stuff up there. I will get to the LC53. I promised you guys a video on that. I've been doing some more reading up on how to make the cable, which mine does not have, so definitely get to that. Also going to be getting to this. I started working on this a long time ago and kind of mothballed it over here, but I very recently got a very pristine copy of the manual for it and training guide. So that got me thinking it's time to finish that off. It's a little 3-inch Philco oscilloscope designed for TV servicing. So I figured it'd be a neat thing to have. Oh, I almost forgot to mention why I needed the DC power supply. I need it for a fixed DC bias voltage for doing alignments. Some sets you need to pin down the AGC, otherwise it interferes with the alignment, especially when you look at the IF response curve. Now, why would I need that now, and why didn't I need it before? Well, simple. I used to have a Suncor VA62 and a B&K 415 up on these shelves, both of which have a built-in bias power supply. Now, I could keep these up here, it's just that I don't really have room. It's heavy, and it's a bit redundant now. Test patterns, I can get from that. The RF, IF frequencies, I can get from that. DC power supply, I can get from that. Some of the stuff, the drive signals, the ringing test, I just don't use that often to justify, I think, chewing up the real estate for this. Same goes for the B&K 415. If I ever do need them, I can just, obviously pull them up on the bench. I might just end up storing them down here or something for now, or maybe I'll sell them off. Oh yeah, and speaking of that, I will be selling off some of my other equipment. Like I've got 1 or 2 more VTVMs I'm not going to be needing anymore, I don't think, and probably some other gear. And finally, upcoming projects. I am currently restoring 2 more Admiral chassis. But and I've recorded a lot of video footage, but I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing predicted TVs and Admiral chassis. And these are the same basic chassis as the one I just restored. So I do have a lot of footage on this because it was a colossal pain in the ass to get it working right. So I'll pare it down to what I think is the most interesting points, and I'll post it eventually, and then this one eventually too. But I think what I'll do now, my next video will be hopefully finishing off the Filco 15DX finally. I did pick up yet a third pair of speakers, but I think they got problems. So I'm hoping between the 3 sets of speakers I now have, I can get one working